following the lifting of the so-called procedure of the EU treaty from Article 7, launched by Brussels against Poland. The German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung wrote, "The European Commission's decision to end the procedure against Poland impressively showed who really matters. It was not Brussels that solved the problem, but the Poles, who elected a different government." According to the official version, Brussels recently assessed that there was no longer an obvious risk of violating the rule of law in Poland, and that the Donald Tusk-led coalition had taken important steps to restore the rule of law. Shortly before, European Commission Vice President Vera Jourova said,
"Now, I think after everything that has happened in the last 6 months, we can see that the government is reversing the negative trend. All the changes aim at strengthening judicial independence."
In December 2017, the European Commission launched a procedure against Poland regarding alleged violations of the rule of law in our country. To emerge from it, Poland's ruling United Right was expected to fulfill more than 280 so-called milestones. Brussels made the payment of EU money owed to Poland conditional on their fulfillment. The masks have fallen. It is clear that neither Brussels nor Berlin wanted to make any changes. It was about political action to bring about a change of government in Poland to one that would listen more to the voices coming from across the western border. Because it's hard to point to reforms regarding the rule of law that have been introduced by Donald Tusk's cabinet, which has been in power in Poland since December 13th. The illegal takeover of the prosecutor's office or the takeover of public television, but also a lot of moves that are illegal and circumvent the powers of the president. So we cannot say in the slightest that the rule of law has been restored, if it has ever been violated. On the other hand, let's be aware that these procedures behind the action of the European Commission are Donald Tusk's colleagues. The EU authorities in Brussels are not talking about the public media or the prosecutor's office that have been taken over illegally and without statutory changes. Perhaps this is because Poland, ruled by the Civic Coalition and now smiling, has agreed to the European Union's flagship projects. What we have been saying from the beginning has been confirmed, that this procedure for alleged violations of the rule of law was not really about any rule of law in Poland. It was about such a political cudgel to scare the Polish government, to influence the elections of Poles. Germany is governed by a coalition led by Olaf Scholz, the former justice minister in Angela Merkel's previous cabinet and now deputy speaker of the European Parliament, Katharina Barley of the SPD, who was alleged to have said in a German radio interview that Poland and Hungary should be financially starved. Now she says, "The greatest living social democrat? There are too many. Or actually, I know of a social democrat. I am a huge fan of Manuela Schwesig." The chairwoman of the German government, Manuela Schwesig, is called Gerhard Schröder in a skirt in Germany because of her ties to the Russian Nord Stream gas pipeline project. She founded the Stiftung Klimaschutz Foundation, which, despite the sanctions imposed on the Russian-German gas pipeline, led to its completion. Recently, a group of senators from the new Polish government took pictures with her. It turns out that in the modern world, you don't have to conquer a country with tanks. It can be done in other ways. And this is what the German state is trying to do, based on the question is whether Polish politicians. The European Union reforms adopted by the Tusk government, the Migration Pact and the Green Deal, were very much relied upon by our Western neighbor Germany, still the largest economy in the European Union, which after Brexit no longer has any competition. This is simply planned. Poland is to be small and weak, just as the Germans planned even before World War I, and the government is external, or to be more precise, primarily German. Because today I don't think anyone has any illusions that the main force in a united Europe is Germany. Indeed, this huge market, the largest and richest in Europe, is managed by German companies and officials, and it simply must be made so that a small country like Poland cannot grow economically and prestige-wise without the approval of the great sovereign. Earlier this year, speaking at a session of the UN General Assembly, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that Germany is ready to take on more responsibility and join the UN Security Council as a permanent member alongside the United States, Great Britain, France, Russia, and China. Radosław Jankiewicz, TV Republika.